"I want Lexi to see what she missed," Michael told his guests on his yacht. As midnight approached, another yacht appeared. A much bigger yacht. "Whose boat is that?" someone asked. The yacht pulled alongside. On the deck stood Lexi, radiant in white, with 3 children in matching sailor outfits. 3 identical children. They waved excitedly at Michael's yacht. "Hi, is that our daddy's party?" Michael's glass slipped from his hand. The children had his face. Lexi smiled. "Happy New Year, Michael. I brought your family." But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. "Do you think she will actually come?" Michael Anderson stared at his phone screen. The message was from David Porter, his friend from college. Michael typed back quickly, "She better come. I paid $15,000 for this yacht." Michael put his phone down on the bathroom counter. He looked at himself in the mirror. It was 7:30 in the morning on December 31st, 2023. He had not slept well. Today was New Year's Eve. Today was the day Lexi would see him on a yacht. Today was the day she would regret everything. Michael walked out of his small bathroom. His apartment in Miami was not big. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a small kitchen. The rent was $1,200 per month. Michael worked as a real estate agent, but the market was slow. He had not sold a house in 2 months. He had 3 credit cards. All 3 cards were almost at their limit. He borrowed $5,000 from each card to rent the yacht. $15,000 total. It was more money than he had ever spent on anything. Michael opened his laptop. He looked at the photos of the yacht again. The yacht was called Ocean Dream. It was white and sleek. It had 2 levels. It could hold 30 people. Michael invited 20 guests. He sent the invitations 3 weeks ago. Everyone said yes. Everyone wanted to see Michael's yacht party. But Michael only cared about one person, Lexi Thompson, his ex-wife. They divorced 2 years ago in January 2021. Lexi filed the papers. She said Michael cared more about his image than their marriage. She was right, but Michael would never admit it. When they were married, Michael spent all their savings on a red sports car. He bought expensive watches he could not afford. He posted photos of everything online. Lexi asked him to stop. She asked him to save money for their future. Michael refused. He said she did not understand success. One day, Lexi packed her clothes and left. She blocked his phone number. She deleted all her social media accounts. Michael never heard from her again. For 2 years, he was angry. He told everyone that Lexi was controlling. He told everyone she was the reason his life was hard. But deep down, Michael knew the truth. He destroyed his own marriage. Now Michael had a plan. He wanted Lexi to see him on a yacht surrounded by people. He wanted her to think he was rich and successful. He wanted her to feel sorry for leaving him. 3 weeks ago, Michael sent Lexi an invitation through David. David was friends with both Michael and Lexi. David still had Lexi's email address. Michael asked David to send her the invitation. 2 days later, David called Michael. She said she will come. Michael smiled when he heard those words. He spent the next 3 weeks planning every detail. He bought gold balloons. He ordered expensive champagne. He made a playlist of popular songs. Everything had to be perfect. At 2 in the afternoon, Michael drove to the marina. The marina was in downtown Miami near Biscayne Bay. The water was blue and calm. Boats of all sizes filled the docks. Michael parked his car. It was a 10-year-old Honda Civic. The paint was faded. One window did not roll down anymore. Michael hated his car. It made him feel like a failure. Michael walked down the dock. He saw the yacht. It was beautiful, white and shining in the sun. A crew of 3 people stood on the deck: a captain, a bartender, a server. Michael paid extra for the crew. He wanted his guests to feel like they were at a luxury event. "Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson," the captain said. His name was Roger. He was about 60 years old, with gray hair and a thick mustache. "Good afternoon," Michael said. He climbed onto the yacht. His hands were sweating. "Everything is ready, sir," Roger said. "The bar is stocked. The sound system is working. We will leave the dock at 8 tonight." "Perfect," Michael said. He walked around the yacht. He checked every detail. The gold balloons were tied to the railings. The champagne bottles were in ice buckets. The leather couches on the deck looked expensive. Michael pulled out his phone. He took a photo of the yacht. He posted it on Instagram with the caption, "Living my best life." Within 5 minutes, the photo had 50 likes. Michael smiled. At 7 in the evening, Michael returned to the yacht. He wore black pants and a white button-down shirt. He styled his curly brown hair with gel. He put on cologne. He looked at himself in the mirror one more time before leaving his apartment. He practiced his smile. He practiced what he would say when Lexi arrived. "Good to see you, Lexi. I have been doing really well. Business is great." Guests started arriving at 8. First came Amanda Chen, Michael's girlfriend. They had been dating for 4 months. Amanda was 29 years old. She worked as a dental assistant. She had long black hair and a bright smile. She wore a red dress and high heels. "Michael, this yacht is incredible," Amanda said. She kissed him on the cheek. "I wanted tonight to be special," Michael said. He handed her a glass of champagne. More guests arrived, co-workers from the real estate office, friends from the gym. A few people Michael barely knew, but invited anyway. Everyone took photos. Everyone said the yacht was amazing. Michael smiled and thanked them, but he kept looking at the dock. He kept checking his phone. Where was Lexi? At 9, David Porter arrived. David was tall and thin with glasses. He wore jeans and a blue shirt. He walked up to Michael and shook his hand. "Nice party," David said. "Thanks," Michael said. He lowered his voice. "Did you hear from her?" David nodded. "She sent me a message this afternoon. She said she will be here." "What time?" Michael asked. She did not say. Michael felt frustrated. He wanted to know when Lexi would arrive. He wanted to be ready. At 10, Amanda walked up to Michael. She touched his arm. "Is everything okay?" she asked. "You keep looking at your phone." "I am fine," Michael said. "I just want to make sure everyone is having a good time." "Everyone is having fun," Amanda said. She looked at him carefully. "Are you waiting for someone?" "No," Michael lied. "I am just checking messages." Amanda did not look convinced, but she did not ask more questions. She walked back to talk to other guests. At 11:30, Michael stood at the railing. He looked out at the water. Boats filled the bay. Everyone was celebrating New Year's Eve. Music played from other yachts. People laughed and shouted. But Michael did not feel happy. He felt angry. Where was Lexi? Was she going to ignore his invitation? At 11:45, Michael checked his phone again. No messages, no calls. He felt his chest tighten. She was not coming. This whole night was a waste. $15,000 for nothing. "Everyone, come to the deck," the captain shouted. "It is almost midnight." The guests gathered on the deck. They held glasses of champagne. They smiled and laughed. Amanda stood next to Michael. She took his hand. 10, 9, 8, everyone shouted. Fireworks exploded over Biscayne Bay. The sky filled with red, blue, and gold lights. Everyone cheered. "Happy New Year!" people shouted. Michael did not cheer. He stared at the water. He felt empty. Then the water became choppy. Waves rocked Michael's yacht. Everyone stopped talking. They looked out at the bay. A massive white yacht appeared. It was 3 times bigger than Michael's rented yacht. It had 2 levels, a helicopter pad on top, a swimming pool on the deck. The name on the side said The Serenity. Michael's guests stared in silence. The massive yacht stopped next to them. The engines went quiet. A woman stepped onto the deck. She wore a long, white dress. Her black hair was long and shiny. She wore diamond earrings that sparkled in the lights from the fireworks. It was Lexi. Michael's mouth opened. He could not move. He could not speak. Behind Lexi, 3 small children walked onto the deck. 2 boys and 1 girl. They wore matching white sailor outfits. They looked about 4 years old. They had curly brown hair, brown eyes, the same smile as Michael. The children waved at Michael's yacht. One of the boys shouted loudly, "Mommy, is that our daddy's party?" Michael's champagne glass slipped from his hand. It hit the deck and shattered. Glass pieces scattered everywhere. Champagne spilled across the floor. Everyone on Michael's yacht turned to stare at him. Amanda grabbed his arm. Her voice was shaking. "Who are those children, Michael?" Michael could not answer. His eyes stayed fixed on the 3 children. They stood on the deck of the giant yacht next to Lexi. They waved at him. They smiled. They looked exactly like him when he was a child. Same curly brown hair, same brown eyes, same shape of face. Amanda's grip on his arm tightened. "Michael, answer me. Who are they?" Michael's mouth moved, but no sound came out. His brain could not form words. His heart pounded in his chest. He felt dizzy. The guests on his yacht started whispering. A woman named Sarah from his office said to her husband, "Those kids look just like Michael." A man named Carlos said, "Does Michael have children?" Another guest pulled out her phone and started recording. David Porter stepped closer to Michael. He looked at the children. Then he looked at Michael. His face went pale. "Michael," David said quietly, "did you know about this?" Michael shook his head. He finally found his voice. "No, I do not know what this is." On the larger yacht, Lexi walked to the railing. She looked calm. She looked confident. She spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Captain Roger, may I have permission to board your vessel?" Roger looked at Michael. Michael still could not speak. He nodded slowly. "Permission granted, ma'am," Roger said. The crew brought a small bridge and connected the 2 yachts. Lexi stepped onto the bridge. She held the hand of the little girl. The 2 boys followed close behind her. They walked carefully across the bridge. The little girl looked nervous. One of the boys looked excited. The other boy looked serious. They stepped onto Michael's yacht. The 3 children looked around with wide eyes. They had never been on a yacht this small before. The guests moved back to make space. Everyone stared. No one spoke. Lexi stood in front of Michael. She was calm. Her face showed no anger, no sadness, just calm. "Hello, Michael," she said. Michael stared at her. Then he looked at the children. Then back at Lexi. "Lexi," he said. His voice cracked. Who are these children?" Lexi looked at him for a long moment. Then she said simply, "They are your children." Amanda gasped. Several guests whispered loudly. Someone dropped a glass. Michael shook his head. "That is not possible. You never—" "I was 8 weeks pregnant when I left you," Lexi said. Her voice was clear and steady. "January 2021. I found out 2 weeks after I filed for divorce." Michael's legs felt weak. He thought he might fall down. David grabbed his arm to steady him. "Why did you not tell me?" Michael asked. "Because You were too busy buying things we did not need, Lexi said. You spent our savings on a sports car. You bought watches you could not afford. You cared more about your image than our future. I decided I could not raise children with someone like that. The little girl tugged on Lexi's dress. Mommy, is that our daddy? Yes, Emma, Lexi said gently. That is your daddy. Emma looked at Michael. She smiled shyly. One of the boys, the serious one, said, He looks like us. Yes, Noah, Lexi said. He does. The other boy, the excited one, shouted, Daddy, we have a big boat. Do you want to see it? Liam, quiet voice, Lexi said softly. Michael stared at the three children. Emma, Noah, Liam, his children, 4 years old. He missed 4 years of their lives. I do not understand, Michael said. His voice was shaking. Where have you been? How did you… This yacht… Lexi spoke calmly. After I left Miami, I moved to San Jose, California. I worked 3 jobs while I was pregnant. I cleaned offices at night. I did data entry during the day. I taught coding classes on weekends. It was hard. I was pregnant with triplets and alone. Michael felt like someone punched him in the stomach. Triplets. 3 babies. Lexi carried 3 babies alone while he was posting photos of fake watches online. After they were born, Lexi continued, I started a software company. It was small at first. Just me and 2 other programmers. We created cybersecurity programs for hospitals. The company was called Apex Solutions. We worked hard. The company grew fast. Last year, a corporation offered to buy my company. They paid $1.2 billion. The guests gasped. Amanda's mouth fell open. David stared at Lexi in shock. You are a billionaire? Michael asked. Yes, Lexi said simply. I bought this yacht 6 months ago. I named it Serenity because I finally found peace. Michael looked at his rented yacht, his $15,000 yacht that he paid for with credit cards. Then he looked at Lexi's yacht, her yacht that she owned, her yacht that was worth millions of dollars. He felt his face turn red. He felt shame like he never felt before. Amanda stepped forward. Tears ran down her face. Michael, is this true? Do you have 3 children? Michael looked at Amanda. He nodded slowly. I did not know. I swear I did not know. But you knew she was your ex-wife? Amanda said. Her voice was loud. You invited your ex-wife to this party and did not tell me? Michael did not answer. You are a liar, Amanda said. She turned and walked toward the bridge. I am leaving. Amanda, wait, Michael said. Do not call me, Amanda said. She walked across the bridge to the dock. She pulled out her phone and called a car. Several other guests followed Amanda. They whispered to each other as they left. Can you believe this? One woman said. He has 3 kids he never mentioned. A man said, that yacht makes his look like a toy. Within 5 minutes, half the guests were gone. David stood next to Michael. He did not leave, but he looked disappointed. Emma walked closer to Michael. She looked up at him with big brown eyes. Do you like boats, Daddy? She asked. Michael looked down at her. His eyes filled with tears. Yes, he said quietly. I like boats. Noah stepped forward. He stood tall like a little adult. Our boat has a movie theater, and a game room, and a swimming pool. Liam jumped up and down. Daddy, do you want to see our toys? We have so many toys. Michael knelt down on the deck. His knees touched the broken glass from his champagne glass. He did not care. He looked at the 3 children. He saw his own face 3 times. He saw pieces of himself in each one. Emma's shy smile. Noah's serious eyes. Liam's wild energy. I am so sorry, Michael said. His voice broke. Tears ran down his face. I am so sorry I was not there. I did not know. I did not know you existed. Emma walked up to him. She put her small hand on his cheek. "It is okay, Daddy. You are here now. Now we can be a family." Michael started sobbing. He pulled Emma into a hug. She wrapped her small arms around his neck. Noah and Liam stepped closer. They joined the hug. All three children held their father for the first time. Michael cried harder than he ever cried in his life. He cried for the 4 years he missed. He cried for the birthdays he was not at. He cried for the first words he did not hear. He cried for all the moments that were gone forever. Lexi watched silently. Her face showed no emotion. She simply observed. After a few minutes, Lexi said, "Children, it is time to go back to our yacht." "But Mommy," Liam said, "we just met Daddy." "I know, sweetheart," Lexi said, "but it is late. You need to sleep." "Can Daddy come with us?" Emma asked. "Not tonight," Lexi said. Michael stood up. His face was wet with tears. His white shirt had champagne stains and wrinkles. "Lexi," he said, "please, can we talk?" "Not tonight," Lexi repeated. She held out her hands. "Come on, children." Emma, Noah, and Liam walked to their mother. They held her hands. They looked back at Michael. "Goodbye, Daddy," they said together. "Goodbye," Michael whispered. Lexi walked the children across the bridge back to her yacht. Michael watched them go. The huge white yacht started its engines. Slowly, it pulled away. The children stood on the deck waving. Michael waved back. The yacht disappeared into the darkness. Michael stood alone on his rented yacht. Only David and 2 other guests remained. The party was over. The gold balloons moved in the wind. Empty champagne glasses sat on tables. The music still played, but no one was dancing. David walked up to Michael. He put his hand on his friend's shoulder. "Did you really not know?" David asked. "I did not know," Michael said. His voice was flat, empty. "She never told me." "Why did you invite her tonight?" David asked. Michael looked at the water where Lexi's yacht had been. He felt sick to his stomach. "I wanted her to see this yacht," Michael said. "I wanted her to think I was successful. I wanted her to regret leaving me." David was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Now she finally understands what you lost." Michael did not respond. David's words hung in the air. The yacht rocked gently in the water. The music finally stopped. One of the last guests walked up to say goodbye. Michael barely noticed. The yacht rental ended at 2 in the morning. Roger and his crew cleaned up the empty glasses and deflated the gold balloons. Michael sat on the leather couch and stared at nothing. David sat next to him. "Do you want me to drive you home?" David asked. "I drove here," Michael said. "I do not think you should drive right now," David said. Michael looked at his friend. "I am fine?" "You are not fine," David said. "You just found out you have 3 children." Michael stood up. His legs felt shaky. "I need to go home." David drove Michael back to his apartment. They did not talk during the drive. When they arrived, David said, "Call me if you need anything." "Okay," Michael said. He got out of the car and walked to his apartment building. Inside his small apartment, Michael turned on the lights. Everything looked the same, but everything felt different. He walked to his bedroom. He did not change his clothes. He lay down on the bed and stared at the ceiling. He could not stop thinking about the 3 children. Emma, Noah, Liam, their faces, their voices, their small hands. They were his children. They existed for 4 years without him. 4 birthdays, 4 Christmases, first steps, first words. He missed everything. Michael thought about Lexi. She was pregnant with triplets. She worked 3 jobs. She built a company worth over $1 billion. She did all of it alone. And he was posting photos of fake watches on Instagram. Michael felt sick. He ran to the bathroom and threw up. He washed his face with cold water. He looked at himself in the mirror. His eyes were red. His face was pale. He looked like a stranger. He went back to bed, but could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the children waving at him from the yacht. At 6 in the morning, Michael gave up trying to sleep. He made coffee. He sat at his small kitchen table. He picked up his phone and opened Instagram. His photo of the yacht had 200 likes. People commented, "Looks amazing," and "living the dream." Michael deleted the post. Then he deleted another post, and another. He deleted every photo from the past 2 years. At 8 in the morning, Michael called his boss. His boss's name was Richard Martinez. Richard owned the real estate agency where Michael worked. "Happy New Year, Michael," Richard said. "Happy New Year," Michael said. His voice was flat. "I need to ask for some time off." "Time off?" Richard said. "We are starting the new year. This is when we make sales." "I know," Michael said, "but I have a family emergency." "What kind of emergency?" Richard asked. "I cannot explain right now," Michael said. "I just need 1 week." Richard sighed. "Fine. 1 week. But I need you back by January 8th. "Thank you," Michael said. He hung up the phone. Michael opened his laptop. He typed Lexi's name into the search engine. Lexi Thompson. Hundreds of results appeared. Articles about her company Apex Solutions. Articles about the sale of her company. Photos of her at business conferences. She wore professional clothes and stood next to important people. In every photo, she looked confident and successful. Michael found an article from 6 months ago. The headline said, "Tech billionaire Lexi Thompson buys luxury yacht." There was a photo of her yacht, the same yacht from last night. Michael kept searching. He found Lexi's company website. It listed an office address in San Jose, California. Michael searched for her home address. It took him 2 hours, but he finally found it. A real estate website showed that she bought a house in Los Gatos, California, for $4.5 million. The website showed photos of the house. Large, modern, beautiful. Michael spent the entire day and the next day searching for information. He did not eat much. He barely slept. He only thought about the children. On January 3rd, Michael made a decision. He needed to see Lexi. He needed to talk to her. He needed to understand what happened. He opened a travel website and searched for flights from Miami to San Jose. He found a flight leaving the next morning. It cost $300. Michael put it on his credit card. That night, Michael packed a small bag. He packed 4 shirts, 2 pairs of jeans, underwear, and socks. He set his alarm for 5 in the morning. On January 4th, Michael woke up before his alarm. He showered and dressed. He drove to Miami International Airport. He parked his car in the long-term parking lot. He walked to the terminal and checked in for his flight. The flight took 6 hours. Michael sat in a middle seat. A large man sat next to him and snored the entire flight. Michael stared out the small window. He watched the country pass below. Flat lands, mountains, desert. He thought about what he would say to Lexi. The plane landed at San Jose International Airport at 2 in the afternoon. Michael got off the plane and walked through the airport. He had never been to California before. The airport was busy and modern. People walked quickly with rolling suitcases. Michael went to the car rental area. He rented the cheapest car available, a small white Toyota that cost $40 per day. He put it on his credit card. The credit card was almost at its limit now. Michael put Lexi's address into his phone's map application. The drive to Los Gatos took 30 minutes. Michael drove south on the highway. The weather was sunny and warm. Palm trees lined the roads. Everything looked expensive and clean. Los Gatos was a wealthy neighborhood. Large houses sat behind tall gates. Trees covered the streets. Michael drove slowly, looking at the addresses. Finally, he found Lexi's house. Number 42 on Bella Vista Drive. The house was even more beautiful in person. Modern design with huge windows, a large front yard with green grass. A tall black metal gate surrounded the property. 2 security guards stood at the gate. They wore black uniforms and sunglasses. Michael parked his rental car on the street. He got out and walked to the gate. His heart pounded. His hands were sweating. One of the guards stepped forward. He was tall and muscular. He looked at Michael carefully. "Can I help you, sir?" the guard asked. "Yes," Michael said. His voice shook. "I need to speak with Lexi Thompson." "Do you have an appointment?" the guard asked. "No," Michael said, "but I am the father of her children." The guard's expression did not change. "Wait here." The guard pulled out a phone and made a call. He turned away and spoke quietly. Michael could not hear what he said. After 2 minutes, the guard hung up. He walked back to Michael. "Miss Thompson will see you," the guard said. He pressed a button and the gate opened slowly. Michael walked through the gate. His legs felt weak. He walked up the long driveway. He saw toys scattered on the grass. A pink bicycle with training wheels, a blue soccer ball, a small yellow trampoline, evidence of children. Michael reached the front door. It was made of dark wood with frosted glass panels. Before he could knock, the door opened. Lexi stood in the doorway. She wore jeans and a simple gray sweater. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail. She wore no makeup. She looked tired but still beautiful. She looked at Michael for a long moment. Her face showed no emotion. "I wondered when you would show up," she said. Michael opened his mouth, but no words came out. He did not know what to say. Lexi stepped back and held the door open. "Come inside." Michael walked into the house. The entrance was bright and spacious. White walls, wood floors. A large staircase led to the second floor. And everywhere there were photos. Photos of Emma, Noah, and Liam covered the walls. Michael stopped and stared. A photo of 3 tiny babies in a hospital. They were so small. A photo of 3 toddlers sitting in high chairs covered in birthday cake. A photo of the triplets on their first day of preschool. They wore matching backpacks and smiled at the camera. Michael was not in any of the photos. He felt pain in his chest. Physical pain. He missed everything. Every milestone. Every moment. "Do you want coffee?" Lexi asked. Her voice was calm, neutral. "No," Michael said. He could not stop staring at the photos. "Let us sit down," Lexi said. She walked to the living room. Michael followed her. The living room was large, with tall windows, comfortable gray couches, a coffee table with children's books stacked on it, toy bins organized neatly against the wall. Lexi sat on one couch. Michael sat across from her on another couch. They looked at each other. "Why are you here, Michael?" Lexi asked. Michael took a deep breath. His hands were shaking. He put them on his knees to keep them still. "I need to talk to you," he said. "I need to understand." "Understand what?" Lexi asked. "Everything," Michael said. His voice cracked. "Why did you not tell me you were pregnant? Why did you disappear? Why did you bring the children to my yacht?" Lexi folded her hands in her lap. She looked at Michael with her dark brown eyes. "I will answer your questions," she said. "But first, I want you to tell me the truth about something." "Okay," Michael said. "That yacht," Lexi said. "Did you own it?" Michael looked down. His face turned red. "No." "Did you rent it?" Lexi asked. "Yes," Michael said quietly. "How much did it cost?" Lexi asked. Michael hesitated. Then he said, $15,000. "Where did you get $15,000? Lexi asked. Credit cards, Michael said. I borrowed from 3 different credit cards. Lexi nodded slowly. And that girlfriend, Amanda. Did you tell her you invited me to the party? No, Michael said. Did you tell her you were married before? Lexi asked. Yes, Michael said, but I did not tell her I invited you. Why did you invite me, Michael? Lexi asked. Her voice was still calm, not angry, just asking. Michael looked at her. He felt ashamed, but he decided to tell the truth. I wanted you to see me on a yacht, he said. I wanted you to think I was successful. I wanted you to regret leaving me. Lexi stared at him. Then she said, So you spent $15,000? You did not have to make me feel bad? Michael nodded. Yes, I am sorry. Lexi looked at Michael for a long moment. She did not seem angry. She seemed tired. You still do not understand, do you? Lexi said. I am trying to understand, Michael said. That is why I am here. Lexi stood up and walked to the window. She looked out at the yard where the children's toys lay scattered on the grass. When I left you in January 2021, Lexi said, I had $200 in my bank account. You spent all our savings on that red sports car. I had no money, no job in Miami, no family nearby. I was alone. Michael sat very still. He listened. I moved back to California, Lexi continued. I had friends here from college. One friend let me sleep on her couch for 3 weeks. I found 3 jobs. I cleaned offices at night from 10 until 2 in the morning. I did data entry for an insurance company from 8 until 5. I taught coding classes on Saturday mornings. I worked 7 days a week. Lexi, Michael said quietly. She held up her hand. Let me finish. 2 weeks after I started working, I felt sick every morning. I thought I had the flu. But the sickness did not go away. I went to a clinic. The doctor did an ultrasound. She told me I was 8 weeks pregnant. Then she looked at the screen for a long time. She said I was having triplets. Michael put his head in his hands. I sat in that clinic alone, Lexi said. The doctor asked if the father knew. I said no. She asked if I planned to tell him. I thought about you, Michael. I thought about how you bought a sports car instead of saving money. I thought about how you cared more about Instagram likes than our future. I decided I could not depend on you. I decided to do this alone. You should have told me, Michael said. His voice was barely a whisper. Why? Lexi asked. She turned to face him. So you could buy a fancy crib you could not afford. So you could post photos of yourself as a father while I did all the real work. I did not need that, Michael. The babies did not need that. Michael felt tears in his eyes. I could have changed. I could have helped. Could you? Lexi asked. Or would you have made it harder? Would you have spent the money for diapers on designer shoes? Would you have been at the hospital when they were born? Or would you have been at a party trying to impress strangers? Michael could not answer. He knew she was right. The pregnancy was hard, Lexi said. She sat down on the couch again. I was carrying 3 babies. My body hurt all the time. I could not work 3 jobs anymore. I quit the cleaning job. I quit the coding classes. I only kept the data entry job because I could sit down. I had no money for doctors. I went to a free clinic. I ate cheap food. Rice, beans, bread. Lexi, I am so sorry, Michael said. On March 15th, 2020, Lexi continued, I went into labor. I was 34 weeks pregnant. My friend drove me to the hospital. I was in labor for 14 hours. The doctors did an emergency surgery. They pulled out 3 tiny babies. Emma was 4 pounds. Noah was 3 pounds and 8 ounces. Liam was 3 pounds and 6 ounces. The babies stayed in the hospital for 6 weeks. I sat next to their incubators every day. I was alone. Michael was crying now. Tears ran down his face. "I should have been there." "Yes," Lexi said, "you should have been, but you were not. So I did it myself. When the babies came home, I lived on 2 hours of sleep every night. 3 babies crying at the same time. 3 babies needing to be fed. 3 babies needing diapers. My friend helped when she could, but most of the time, it was just me." "How did you survive?" Michael asked. "I did what I had to do," Lexi said. "When the triplets were 6 months old, I started working again. I did coding work from home, small projects, websites, apps. I worked while the babies napped. I worked after they went to sleep. I saved every dollar." Lexi stood and walked to a shelf. She picked up a photo. She looked at it. Then she handed it to Michael. The photo showed Lexi sitting on a couch. She looked exhausted. Dark circles under her eyes, hair messy. 3 babies slept on her chest. They were so small. Michael stared at the photo. He felt like someone was squeezing his heart. "When the triplets were 1 year old," Lexi said, "I had an idea. Hospitals needed better cybersecurity. Medical records were getting stolen. Patient information was not safe. I knew I could build a better system. I found 2 other programmers who believed in my idea. We worked together. We called the company Apex Solutions." "I read about your company online," Michael said. "We started small," Lexi said. 1 hospital bought our program. Then another. Then 10 hospitals. Then 50. The company grew fast. I hired more people. I moved into an office. But I still raised the triplets. I brought them to the office sometimes. I hired a nanny to help. It was hard, but it was my life." "And then someone bought your company," Michael said. "Last year," Lexi said, "a large corporation offered $1.2 billion. My lawyers told me to take it. I took it. I sold Apex Solutions in March 2023. I became a billionaire at 36 years old." Michael shook his head. "You did all of that. While you were posting photos of rented cars and fake watches," Lexi said. "Yes." The room was quiet. Michael looked at the photo again. 3 tiny babies, 1 exhausted mother, no father. "I bought this house in April," Lexi said. "I bought the yacht in June. I named it Serenity because for the first time in 4 years, I felt peaceful. I had money. I had security. I had my children. I did not need anything else." "Then why did you come to my yacht party?" Michael asked. "Why did you bring the children?" Lexi sat down across from him. She looked directly into his eyes. "The triplets ask about you," she said. "Every single day. They see other children at preschool with fathers. They ask why they do not have a daddy. I always told them the truth. I said their daddy lives far away. I said maybe one day they will meet him." "They wanted to meet me," Michael said. "Yes," Lexi said. "Emma asks about you every night before bed. Noah draws pictures of what he thinks you look like. Liam tells his friends he has a daddy he just has not met yet. They needed to meet you. I decided it was time." "You could have called me," Michael said. "You could have sent a letter." "I could have," Lexi agreed. "But I wanted you to see something. I wanted you to see what you missed. I wanted you to feel the weight of your choices. When David told me about your yacht party, I knew it was the perfect time. You were still trying to impress people. You were still living a fake life. I wanted you to see what a real life looks like." Michael looked down at his hands. "You wanted to hurt me." "No," Lexi said. "I do not care enough about you to want to hurt you. I did this for the children. They needed to see their father. And you needed to see them." Michael looked up. "Can I be part of their lives? Please, Lexi. I know I do not deserve it. I know I failed. But they are my children. I want to know them. I want to be their father." Lexi was quiet for a long time. She studied Michael's face. She looked for signs that he was lying, signs that this was another performance. "If you want to be their father," Lexi finally said, "you have to prove you changed. You cannot show up for 3 months and then disappear. You cannot make promises and break them. These are children, Michael. They will love you if you let them. But if you hurt them, if you leave them, I will never forgive you." "I will not leave," Michael said. "I promise." "Promises mean nothing," Lexi said. "Actions matter. If you want to be part of their lives, there are conditions." "Anything," Michael said. "I will do anything." Lexi held up one finger. "First, you have to move to California. You cannot be a father from Miami. You have to be here." "Okay," Michael said. Lexi held up a second finger. "Second, you have to go to therapy. You have issues with money and self-worth. You need to fix those issues before you can be a good father." "Okay," Michael said. Lexi held up a third finger. "Third, you can only see the children once a week for the first 3 months. 1 visit, 3 hours, that is all. After 3 months, if you prove you are serious, we can discuss more time." "3 hours a week?" Michael asked. "That is not very much." "That is what I am offering," Lexi said. Her voice was firm. "Take it or leave it." Michael thought about it. 3 hours a week was not enough. But it was better than nothing. It was a start. "I will take it," Michael said. "I agree to everything. I will move here. I will go to therapy. I will see them once a week. Whatever you want." Lexi stood up. "Then go back to Miami. Pack your things. Move here. Find an apartment. Find a therapist. When you are settled, email me. I will schedule the first visit." Michael stood up too. "When can I see them? The children, are they here?" "They are at preschool," Lexi said. "They will be home at 3. Michael looked at his watch. It was 2:45. "Can I wait? Can I see them when they get home?" "No," Lexi said. She walked to the front door and opened it. "You will see them when you earn it, not before." Michael walked to the door. He stopped and looked at Lexi. "Thank you," he said, "for giving me this chance." Lexi did not smile. "Do not thank me. Thank the children. They are the only reason you are getting this chance." Michael nodded. He walked out the door. The security guard closed the gate behind him. Michael sat in his rental car. He looked at Lexi's house. Somewhere inside that house, or on their way home from school, were his 3 children. He started the car and drove back to the airport. He had work to do. Michael's flight back to Miami left at 6 in the evening. He sat in the same middle seat. The same large man sat next to him and snored again. Michael did not care. He stared out the window and thought about everything. He thought about Lexi working 3 jobs while pregnant. He thought about 3 tiny babies in hospital incubators. He thought about Emma asking about her daddy every night. He thought about Lexi's conditions. Move to California. Go to therapy. See the children once a week. Michael would do all of it. The plane landed in Miami at 2 in the morning on January 5th. Michael drove home from the airport. The streets were empty. He parked his old Honda Civic in front of his apartment building. He walked inside and turned on the lights. Michael looked around his small apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, cheap furniture. This place never felt like home. It was just a place to sleep between parties and fake social media posts. He would not miss it. Michael did not sleep that night. He sat at his kitchen table and made a list. Everything he needed to do. Tell his boss, break his lease, pack his belongings, call his parents, drive to California. At 8 in the morning, Michael called Richard Martinez. "Michael," Richard said, "are you back from your emergency?" "Yes," Michael said. "I need to talk to you about something important." "What is it?" Richard asked. I am quitting, Michael said. I am giving you 2 weeks' notice. There was silence on the phone. Then Richard said, You are quitting? Why? I need to move to California, Michael said, for personal reasons. Personal reasons? Richard repeated. Michael, you have worked here for 5 years. You are one of my best agents when you actually focus. What personal reasons? I cannot explain right now, Michael said. I am sorry, but I have to leave. Richard sighed loudly. Fine, 2 weeks. Your last day will be January 19th. But I am disappointed, Michael. I understand, Michael said. Thank you for everything. Michael hung up the phone. One task done. Next he called his landlord. His landlord's name was Stephen Chen. Stephen owned the apartment building. Mr. Chen, Michael said, I need to break my lease early. Your lease does not end until May, Stephen said. You signed a contract. I know, Michael said, but I have to move. I will pay the penalty. The penalty is $2,000, Stephen said. Michael closed his eyes. $2,000 he did not have, but he had no choice. Okay, Michael said, I will pay it. Can I move out by January 15th? Fine, Stephen said. Send me the money by January 10th. Michael hung up. He opened his laptop and transferred $2,000 from his credit card to his bank account. Then he paid Stephen. His credit card limit was almost reached. He had borrowed almost $20,000 now. The yacht, the plane tickets, the car rental, the lease penalty. He would worry about the debt later. For the next 2 weeks, Michael worked his final days at the real estate office. He showed houses to clients, he answered phone calls, he filed paperwork. He did not tell anyone except David why he was leaving. At night, Michael packed his apartment. He did not own much furniture, a cheap couch, a small kitchen table, a bed frame. He called a donation center, and they picked up the furniture for free. Michael opened his closet. It was full of expensive clothes. Designer shirts, expensive jeans, leather jackets. He bought all of them to look successful. He spent thousands of dollars on these clothes. Now they felt like a costume from a play that was over. Michael took photos of the clothes and posted them on a resale website. He sold a leather jacket for $100. He sold 3 designer shirts for $50 each. He sold jeans for $30 a pair. In 1 week, he made $600. He used the money to pay for gas and food. On January 8th, David Porter came to Michael's apartment. He looked around at the empty rooms and the boxes. So you are really doing this, David said. Yes, Michael said. I am moving to California. When do you leave? David asked. January 15th, Michael said. I will drive. It takes about 4 days. David sat on one of the few remaining chairs. Michael, can I ask you something? Sure, Michael said. Why did you not know about the kids? David asked. Did Lexi really never tell you she was pregnant? She never told me, Michael said. She found out after we divorced. She decided not to tell me. That seems wrong, David said. You had a right to know. Michael shook his head. No, she was right not to tell me. I would have made everything worse. I was not ready to be a father. I am barely ready now. You are doing the right thing, David said. Moving there, trying to be in their lives. I have to try, Michael said. They are my children. David stood up. He hugged Michael. Good luck, man. Stay in touch. I will, Michael said. Thank you for everything. After David left, Michael made another difficult call. He called his parents in Tampa. His mother answered on the 3rd ring. Michael? His mother said. Her name was Patricia Anderson. Is everything okay? You never call. Hi, Mom, Michael said. I need to tell you something. What is it? Patricia asked. Michael heard worry in her voice. I have 3 children, Michael said. Silence. Mom? Michael said. Are you there? You have children? Patricia said slowly. Since when? With who? With Lexi, Michael said. My ex-wife. She was pregnant when we divorced. She had triplets, 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. They are 4 years old. Patricia started crying. Oh my God! Michael, 3 grandchildren? I have 3 grandchildren I never met? Yes, Michael said. I just found out on New Year's Eve. I did not know. Lexi never told me. Why not? Patricia asked. Because I was not a good husband, Michael said, and she did not think I would be a good father. Where are these children? Patricia asked. Where is Lexi? California, Michael said. Lexi lives in Los Gatos. That is near San Jose. I am moving there. I want to be part of their lives. You are moving to California, Patricia said. When? I leave in 1 week, Michael said. Your father needs to hear this, Patricia said. Robert, come here. Michael heard footsteps. Then his father's voice. What is wrong? Patricia told him everything. Robert Anderson was quiet. Then he said, Put me on the phone. Dad, Michael said. You have 3 kids, Robert said. His voice was serious and deep. Yes, Michael said. And you are moving to California to be their father, Robert said. Yes, Michael said. Good, Robert said. Be responsible, Michael. Show up for them. Do not be like those fathers who leave. Be there. I will, Michael said. I promise. We want to meet them, Patricia said. She was crying again. We want to meet our grandchildren. You will, Michael said, when things are more settled. Right now, I am just trying to earn the right to see them. Michael talked to his parents for another 20 minutes. His mother asked about the triplets' names and ages. His father gave advice about being a parent. When Michael hung up, he felt exhausted but relieved. On January the 15th, Michael loaded everything he owned into his Honda Civic. Clothes in boxes, laptop, a few books, kitchen supplies. Everything fit in the car and the trunk. His entire life fit in one small car. Michael drove out of Miami at 6 in the morning. He took Interstate 10 west. The highway stretched across Florida, then Alabama, then Mississippi. Michael drove for 10 hours. He stopped at a cheap motel in Louisiana. He paid $40 for a room with 1 bed and a bathroom that smelled like mold. The next day, Michael drove through Texas. Texas was huge. He drove for 12 hours and was still in Texas. He stopped at another cheap motel near El Paso. On the 3rd day, Michael drove through New Mexico and Arizona. The desert was beautiful. Red rocks, blue sky, empty land for miles. Michael had never seen anything like it. On the 4th day, Michael entered California. He drove through the desert, then through mountains, then into green valleys. He arrived in San Jose on January 19th at 4 in the afternoon. San Jose was bigger than Michael expected. Tall buildings, busy streets, expensive cars everywhere. Michael felt out of place in his old Honda. He found a cheap motel and stayed there for 3 nights while he searched for an apartment. He looked at 10 different apartments. Most were too expensive. Finally, he found a small studio apartment in Sunnyvale, a city next to San Jose. The studio had 1 room that served as bedroom, living room, and kitchen. A small bathroom. No windows except 1 small window in the bathroom. The rent was $1,800 per month. It was tiny and expensive, but it was all Michael could afford. Michael signed the lease on January 22nd. He moved his boxes into the empty studio. He had no furniture. He bought an air mattress from a discount store for $30. He bought a cheap lamp, a folding chair. That was all he could afford. That night, Michael sat on his air mattress in his empty studio apartment. He looked around at his new life. He left everything behind for this. He left his job, his apartment, his city. For 3 children he met once, for 3 hours a week with them. It was worth it. Michael opened his laptop. He wrote an email to Lexi. "Hi, Lexi. I moved to California. My new address is 422 West Olive Avenue, Apartment 12, Sunnyvale, California, 94086. I am ready to see the children whenever you decide. Michael." He hit send. The next morning, Lexi replied, "Michael, here is the name of a therapist, Dr. Patricia Ruiz. Her phone number is 4085550123. Call her today and make an appointment. You can visit the children this Saturday, January 27th, at 10 in the morning. 3 hours, do not be late. Lexi." Michael stared at the email. Saturday. He would see his children on Saturday. Michael called Dr. Patricia Ruiz that same day. The phone rang 4 times before someone answered. "Dr. Ruiz's office," a woman said. "This is Janet speaking." "Hello," Michael said. "My name is Michael Anderson. I need to make an appointment." "Is this your first time seeing Dr. Ruiz?" Janet asked. "Yes," Michael said. "What brings you to therapy?" Janet asked. Michael hesitated. "I have issues with money and self-worth, and I need help being a better father." "I see," Janet said. Michael heard her typing on a computer. "Dr. Ruiz has an opening this Thursday, January 25th at 4 in the afternoon. Does that work?" "Yes," Michael said. "I will be there." Janet gave him the address. The office was in downtown San Jose. Michael wrote it down. Thursday came. Michael drove to the address. It was a tall building with offices for doctors, lawyers, and therapists. He took the elevator to the 5th floor. The office was small and quiet. Soft music played. The walls were painted light blue. Janet sat at the front desk. She was a woman in her 30s, with red hair. She smiled at Michael. "Mr. Anderson?" she asked. "Yes," Michael said. "Fill out these forms," Janet said. She handed him a clipboard with papers. "Dr. Ruiz will see you in a few minutes." Michael sat in the waiting room and filled out the forms. Name, address, phone number, insurance information. He did not have health insurance. He checked the box that said he would pay out of pocket. After 10 minutes, a door opened. A woman stepped out. She was about 50 years old, with short brown hair and kind eyes. She wore black pants and a blue sweater. "Michael?" she said. "Yes." Michael stood up. "I am Dr. Patricia Ruiz," she said. She shook his hand. "Come in." Michael followed her into a small office. 2 comfortable chairs faced each other. A small table sat between them with a box of tissues. The walls had certificates and paintings of peaceful landscapes. "Please sit," Dr. Ruiz said. Michael sat down. He felt uncomfortable. He had never been to therapy before. "This is your first time in therapy," Dr. Ruiz said. It was not a question. "Yes," Michael said. "I do not really know how this works." "It is simple," Dr. Ruiz said. "You talk, I listen. I ask questions. We work together to understand your thoughts and behaviors. Everything you say here is private." "Okay," Michael said. "Tell me why you are here," Dr. Ruiz said. Michael took a deep breath. Then he told her everything. The yacht party, the 3 children, Lexi's conditions, moving to California. Dr. Ruiz listened without interrupting. She took a few notes. When Michael finished, she said, "Why do you think Lexi requires therapy as a condition?" "She said I have issues with money and self-worth," Michael said. "Do you agree?" Dr. Ruiz asked. Michael thought about it. Then he said, "Yes, I do." "Tell me about your relationship with money," Dr. Ruiz said. Michael talked about growing up poor in Tampa. He talked about wearing old clothes and watching rich kids at school. He talked about promising himself that one day everyone would see him as successful. "And did that promise make you happy?" Dr. Ruiz asked. No, Michael admitted. It made me spend money I did not have. It made me lose my wife. It made me miss 4 years with my children. What do you want now? Dr. Ruiz asked. I want to be a good father, Michael said. I want my children to know me. I want them to trust me. Dr. Ruiz nodded. That is a good goal. But to be a good father, you need to understand yourself first. We will work on that together. They talked for 50 minutes. At the end, Dr. Ruiz gave Michael homework. I want you to write down 3 things you are grateful for every day, she said. Not things you own, not things that impress other people, just things that matter to you. Okay, Michael said. And I want you to delete your social media accounts if you have not already, she said. I already deleted them, Michael said. Good, Dr. Ruiz said. I will see you next Tuesday at the same time. Michael left the office feeling strange. Talking about his feelings was harder than he expected, but it also felt good to be honest. Saturday morning arrived. Michael woke up at 6, even though he did not need to be at Lexi's house until 10. He could not sleep. He was too nervous and excited. He would see his children today. Emma, Noah, Liam. Michael got up and took a shower. He stood in front of his small closet. What should he wear? He tried on 3 different shirts. A blue one, a green one, a gray one. He finally chose the blue one with jeans. He wanted to look nice, but not too formal. At 8, Michael drove to a toy store. He did not know what 4-year-olds liked. He walked through the aisles feeling overwhelmed. Dolls, action figures, board games, building blocks. Everything looked confusing. A store employee walked up to him. She was a young woman with a name tag that said Maria. Can I help you find something? Maria asked. Yes, Michael said. I need gifts for 3 4-year-olds, 2 boys and a girl. What do they like? Maria asked. I do not know, Michael admitted. I do not know them very well yet. Maria smiled kindly. How about a stuffed animal? Kids that age usually love stuffed animals. She led him to a section with stuffed animals. Michael saw a large stuffed dinosaur. It was green, with a friendly face. I will take this, Michael said. Great, Maria said. What about the girl? Michael looked around. He saw a coloring book with princesses on the cover. Next to it was a box of crayons with 24 colors. This coloring book and these crayons, Michael said. Perfect, Maria said. And for the other boy? Michael saw a puzzle with a picture of the solar system. It had 50 pieces. This puzzle, Michael said. Maria helped him check out. The total was $42. Michael paid with his credit card. At 9:30, Michael drove to Los Gatos. His hands were shaking on the steering wheel. He held the bag of gifts in the passenger seat. He arrived at Lexi's house at exactly 10. The security guards recognized him. They opened the gate without asking questions. Michael parked his car in the driveway. He walked to the front door, holding the bag of gifts. His heart pounded. The door opened before he could knock. Lexi stood there. She wore jeans and a white t-shirt. Her hair was down. You are on time, she said. Yes, Michael said. His voice came out shaky. Lexi looked at the bag. What is that? Gifts, Michael said. For the kids. Is that okay? Lexi paused. Then she said, It is fine. Come in. Michael walked inside. He heard children's voices coming from somewhere in the house. Laughter, the sound of toys. His chest felt tight. They are in the playroom, Lexi said. She led him down a hallway. The playroom was large and bright. Toys filled shelves along the walls. A small table sat in the corner with art supplies. 3 children sat on the floor playing with building blocks. Emma looked up first. She saw Michael and smiled shyly. Daddy! Noah turned around. He stared at Michael seriously. Liam jumped up and ran across the room. "Daddy!" Liam shouted. He crashed into Michael's legs and hugged them. Michael knelt down. He wrapped his arms around Liam. The little boy felt so small and warm. Michael's eyes filled with tears, but he blinked them away. "Hi, buddy," Michael said. Emma stood up and walked over slowly. She looked at Michael carefully. "Did you bring those?" She pointed at the bag. "Yes," Michael said. "I brought gifts for you and your brothers." "Can we open them?" Liam asked. He bounced on his feet. "Yes," Michael said. He pulled out the dinosaur first. "This is for Liam." Liam grabbed the dinosaur and hugged it. "A dinosaur! I love dinosaurs. His name is Rex." Liam made loud roaring sounds and ran around the room with the dinosaur. Michael pulled out the coloring book and crayons. "This is for Emma." Emma took the coloring book and opened it carefully. She looked at each page. "Thank you, Daddy. I like coloring." Finally, Michael pulled out the puzzle. "This is for Noah." Noah took the puzzle and studied the box. "The solar system. I like space. Will you help me build it?" "Yes," Michael said. "I will help you." Noah sat down on the floor and opened the puzzle box. He dumped all the pieces onto the carpet. Michael sat next to him. They started sorting the edge pieces from the middle pieces. Emma sat on Michael's other side. She opened her coloring book to a page with a princess. She chose a purple crayon and started coloring carefully. Liam ran around making dinosaur sounds. He stomped his feet and roared. Then he came over and showed Michael his dinosaur. "Look, Daddy, Rex is eating a building." "That is great, buddy," Michael said. Lexi sat in a chair near the door. She watched everything. She did not smile or talk. She just observed. Michael helped Noah find corner pieces for the puzzle. Noah was focused and serious. He studied each piece carefully before placing it. "Do you like space?" Noah asked. "Yes," Michael said. "I do. Do you?" "I want to be an astronaut when I grow up," Noah said. "That is amazing," Michael said. "You would be a great astronaut." Emma showed Michael her coloring. She colored the princess's dress purple. "Purple is my favorite color," she said. "It is a beautiful color," Michael said. Time passed quickly. Michael did not check his phone. He did not think about anything except the three children in front of him. Emma's quiet voice, Noah's serious concentration, Liam's endless energy. At noon, Lexi stood up. "It is time for lunch." Michael started to stand. "I should go." "Can Daddy stay for lunch?" Emma asked. She looked at her mother with hopeful eyes. Lexi hesitated. She looked at Emma, then at Michael, then back at Emma. "Please, Mommy," Emma said. "Fine," Lexi said. "He can stay for lunch." They went to the kitchen. The kitchen was large with white cabinets and gray counters. Lexi made sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly. She cut them into triangles. She put fruit on plates, grapes and strawberries. They sat at the kitchen table. The triplets told Michael about their preschool. They told him about their teacher, Miss Karen. They told him about their friends, Sophie and Marcus. "Sophie has a dog," Emma said. "Can we get a dog, Mommy?" "Maybe someday," Lexi said. After lunch, Lexi looked at the clock. It was 1. "Michael, it is time for you to leave." Liam's face fell. "Already?" "Yes," Lexi said. "We agreed on 3 hours." "When will Daddy come back?" Liam asked. "Next Saturday," Lexi said. Michael stood up. He looked at the 3 children. "I will see you next week. I promise." "Okay," Emma said softly. Noah nodded. Liam hugged Michael's leg again. "Bye, Daddy." Michael walked to his car. He sat in the driver's seat and took a deep breath. His children called him Daddy. They smiled at him. They wanted him to stay. He started the car and drove home. For the first time in years, Michael felt something real. Michael drove back to his studio apartment in Sunnyvale. The apartment felt empty and cold, but for the first time, Michael did not mind. He had something to look forward to. Next Saturday, he would see Emma, Noah, and Liam again. That night, Michael pulled out a notebook. Dr. Ruiz told him to write 3 things he was grateful for each day. He wrote, 1. I saw my children today. 2. They called me Daddy. 3. Emma showed me her coloring. The weeks passed. Every Saturday, Michael drove to Lexi's house at 10 in the morning. Every Saturday, he spent 3 hours with the triplets. They built puzzles. They colored pictures. They played with toy trucks and dolls. Slowly, the children became more comfortable with him. Emma started sitting in his lap while he read books to her. Her favorite book was about a princess who saved her kingdom. Michael read it 5 times one Saturday. Noah asked Michael questions about everything. Why is the sky blue? Where do clouds come from? How far away is the moon? Michael did not know all the answers. Sometimes he said, I do not know, buddy. Let us look it up together. They would use Lexi's computer to find answers. Liam never stopped moving or talking. He told Michael about every toy he owned. He told him about the games he played at school. He told him jokes he did not understand. Michael laughed anyway. Every Tuesday, Michael went to therapy with Dr. Ruiz. They talked about his childhood. They talked about his fear of being seen as worthless. They talked about his need for validation from strangers. Why do you think you measure your worth by what others think? Dr. Ruiz asked one session. Michael thought about it. Because when I was young, people treated me differently when they saw I was poor. They ignored me. I felt invisible. And now? Dr. Ruiz asked. Now, I am trying to learn that being invisible to strangers is okay, Michael said, as long as I am visible to my children. That is good progress, Dr. Ruiz said. In late February, Michael started looking for a job. He could not live off his credit cards forever. He applied to 20 different companies, tech companies, marketing firms, real estate offices. Most did not respond. A few sent rejection emails. In early March, Michael got a call from a small startup company called Innovate Tech. They made software for project management. They needed a project coordinator. The job paid $55,000 per year. It was less than Michael made in real estate, but it was steady. Michael went to the interview. He wore simple clothes, a white shirt and black pants. No expensive watch, no designer shoes. He answered questions honestly. He did not exaggerate his experience. He did not try to impress anyone. 3 days later, they offered him the job. Michael started on March 11th. The work was different from real estate. Michael sat at a desk and managed schedules. He coordinated meetings. He tracked project deadlines. It was not exciting, but Michael liked it. His co-workers were friendly. His boss, a woman named Jennifer Patel, was fair and clear with her expectations. Michael worked hard. He arrived on time every day. He stayed late when needed. He did not complain. He did not try to take credit for other people's work. He just did his job. One Saturday in late March, after spending 3 hours with the triplets, Michael asked Lexi a question. Can I have more time with them? Michael asked. 3 hours every Saturday is not enough. I want to take them places. I want to do things with them. Lexi looked at him for a long moment. Where would you take them? The park, Michael said, or the zoo, or just out for ice cream. I want to be a real father, not just a visitor. Lexi crossed her arms. Let me think about it. A week later, Lexi called Michael. You can take the children to the park next Saturday. 3 hours, but there are rules. Okay, Michael said. You must bring them back exactly on time. Lexi said. "You must keep your phone on. You must not buy them too much junk food, and you must watch them carefully. Do you understand?" "Yes," Michael said. "I understand." "If anything happens to them, Michael," Lexi said, her voice serious, "you will never see them again." "Nothing will happen," Michael said. "I promise." On Saturday, April 1st, Michael picked up the triplets from Lexi's house. It was the first time he was alone with them. No Lexi watching from a chair. Just Michael and 3 4-year-olds. Michael felt terrified and excited at the same time. He drove them to Vasona Lake County Park in Los Gatos. The park was beautiful with tall trees, green grass, and a large lake. Families walked on paths. Children played on swings and slides. "Can we go to the playground?" Liam shouted. "Yes," Michael said, "but stay where I can see you." The triplets ran to the playground. Emma went to the swings. "Push me, Daddy!" Michael pushed her on the swing. She laughed and kicked her legs. "Higher!" Noah climbed on the monkey bars. He reached for the 3rd bar but could not grab it. Michael walked over and lifted him slightly. "Try now." Noah grabbed the bar and swung across. "I did it!" Liam went down the slide over and over. "Watch me, Daddy! Watch me!" Michael watched. He counted. Liam went down the slide 17 times. After an hour, they walked around the lake. Ducks swam in the water. Liam pointed at them. "Can we feed the ducks?" Michael saw a vendor selling bags of duck food. He bought 1 bag for $3. The triplets threw food to the ducks. The ducks swam closer and quacked loudly. The children giggled. Michael watched them and felt happiness he had never felt on his rented yacht. This was real. This mattered. At noon, they had a picnic. Michael packed sandwiches, apple slices, and juice boxes. They sat on a blanket under a tree. Noah was quiet while he ate. Then he said, "Daddy, can I tell you something?" "Of course," Michael said. "There is a boy at school named Tyler," Noah said. "He is mean to me. He pushed me yesterday." Michael put down his sandwich. "He pushed you? Did you tell your teacher?" "No," Noah said. "I was scared." "Noah," Michael said gently, "if someone hurts you, you need to tell a grown-up. Your teacher is there to help you. Will you tell her next time?" Noah nodded. "Okay." Michael felt proud that Noah trusted him with this. It was a small moment, but it was important. After lunch, they played soccer in an open field. Michael was not good at soccer. He missed the ball when he tried to kick it. The triplets laughed. Michael laughed too. At 3, Michael drove them back to Lexi's house. He was exactly on time. The children ran inside talking excitedly about the ducks and the playground. Lexi stood at the door. "Did everything go okay?" "It was perfect," Michael said. Lexi studied his face. Then she said, "You can take them again next Saturday if you want." Michael smiled. "Thank you." The weeks turned into months. Spring became summer. Michael saw the triplets 2 or 3 times a week now. Sometimes he picked them up from preschool. Sometimes they had dinner together at Lexi's house. In June, Michael's parents flew to California to meet their grandchildren. Michael picked them up from the airport. His mother, Patricia, talked the entire drive to Lexi's house. "I cannot believe I am finally meeting them," Patricia said. "Do they know we are coming?" "Yes," Michael said. Lexi told them. At Lexi's house, Patricia started crying the moment she saw Emma, Noah, and Liam. She hugged all 3 children at once. "My beautiful grandchildren." Michael's father, Robert, was quieter, but he got down on the floor and played trucks with Liam. He showed Noah how to throw a football. He complimented Emma's drawings. Lexi was polite to Michael's parents, but kept her distance. She did not pretend they were all one big happy family. Michael understood. In July, the triplets started summer camp. Lexi asked Michael if he could pick them up on Wednesdays because she had important work meetings. Yes, Michael said immediately. I will be there. Every Wednesday, Michael left work at 3 and drove to the summer camp. He picked up 3 sweaty, tired, happy children. They told him about swimming lessons and arts and crafts. Michael took them for ice cream at a small shop near Lexi's house. They always got the same flavors. Emma got strawberry. Noah got chocolate. Liam got vanilla with rainbow sprinkles. In August, Jennifer Patel called Michael into her office. "Michael," Jennifer said, "you have been here 5 months now. You are reliable. You work hard. You do not create drama. I am promoting you to Senior Project Coordinator. You will get a raise, $5,000 more per year." "Thank you," Michael said. "I really appreciate it." With the extra money, Michael started looking for a better apartment. His studio in Sunnyvale was too small and too far from the triplets. He found a 1-bedroom apartment in Campbell. It was closer to Los Gatos. The rent was $2,000 per month, but Michael could afford it now. He moved on August 15th. The new apartment had a real bedroom and a larger kitchen. He bought a used couch from a thrift store. He bought a small dining table. It was not fancy, but it felt like a home. On September 1st, the triplets started kindergarten. It was a big day. Lexi took the morning off work. She called Michael the night before. "Do you want to come to their first day of school?" she asked. Michael's heart jumped. "Yes, I do." The next morning, Michael met Lexi at her house at 7:30. Emma, Noah, and Liam wore new school clothes. Emma had a purple backpack. Noah had a blue one. Liam had a green one with dinosaurs on it. They drove to Brookside Elementary School in Los Gatos. The parking lot was full of parents and children. Everyone looked excited and nervous. Michael walked with Lexi and the triplets to the kindergarten classroom. The room was bright with colorful posters and small desks. The teacher, a young woman named Miss Rodriguez, greeted each child. Emma held Noah's hand. She looked scared. Noah stood tall, trying to be brave. Liam waved at everyone. "Bye, Mommy! Bye, Daddy!" Liam shouted. Michael felt his throat tighten. They called him Daddy in front of everyone, in front of teachers and other parents. He was their father. The triplets walked into the classroom. Michael and Lexi stood outside watching through the window. "They are growing up so fast," Lexi said quietly. "Yes," Michael said. They walked back to the parking lot together. When they reached their cars, Lexi turned to Michael. "You have been showing up for 6 months now," she said. "I see that you are trying. The kids love you." Michael did not know what to say. "Thank you for giving me this chance." "I am willing to create a formal custody arrangement," Lexi said. "You can have the children every other weekend, Friday night through Sunday afternoon, and 1 weeknight per week for dinner." Michael stared at her. "Are you serious?" "Yes," Lexi said. "The triplets deserve to have their father in their lives consistently. You have proven you are serious about this." Michael felt tears in his eyes. "Thank you, Lexi. Thank you so much." "Do not thank me yet," Lexi said. "Just keep showing up." Michael drove home in a daze. Every other weekend, 1 weeknight per week. He would have his children in his life regularly. He finally earned something real. That night, Michael called Dr. Ruiz. It was after office hours, but she told him he could leave messages any time. He called her voicemail. "Dr. Ruiz, this is Michael. I just wanted to tell you something. Lexi said I can have the children every other weekend and 1 night per week. I have been working toward this for 6 months. I cannot believe it is real. Thank you for your help." The first weekend Michael had the triplets was September 8th. Lexi dropped them off at his apartment in Campbell on Friday at 6 in the evening. She looked around his small apartment. One bedroom, a used couch, a small kitchen table, toys in a corner that Michael bought for them. "Where will they sleep?" Lexi asked. "I bought an air mattress," Michael said. "They can sleep in the bedroom. I will sleep on the couch." Lexi looked uncertain. "Are you sure you can handle them for a whole weekend?" "Yes," Michael said. "I promise." "I will be 20 minutes away if you need anything," Lexi said. She knelt down and hugged each child. "Be good for Daddy. I will pick you up Sunday at 5. After Lexi left, the triplets looked around the apartment. It was much smaller than their house. Emma walked to the window. "We can see the street from here." "Yes," Michael said. "Do you guys like pizza? We can order pizza for dinner." "Yes!" all 3 children shouted. Michael ordered 2 pizzas, cheese for Emma, pepperoni for Noah and Liam. They ate at the small kitchen table. Liam got sauce all over his face. Emma ate carefully and slowly. Noah asked Michael questions. "Do you live here all by yourself?" Noah asked. "Yes," Michael said. "Just me. But now you will visit me here." "It is small," Noah said, "but I like it." After dinner, they watched a movie. Michael let them choose. They picked an animated movie about talking animals. They all sat on the couch together. Emma fell asleep halfway through with her head on Michael's shoulder. Liam fell asleep near the end, curled up on Michael's lap. Noah stayed awake until the credits. At 8:30, Michael carried Emma to the bedroom. He woke up Liam and Noah. "Time to brush teeth and get ready for bed." He helped them brush their teeth. He found their pajamas in the bag Lexi packed. He tucked them into the air mattress. All 3 children lay side by side. "Will you read us a story?" Emma asked. Michael read them 2 stories. Then he turned off the light. "Good night. I will be right outside on the couch if you need me." "Good night, Daddy," they said together. Michael lay on the couch. His apartment was quiet. He listened for sounds from the bedroom. He heard soft breathing. His children were sleeping in his apartment. His home. Saturday morning, Michael woke up at 6. He heard small footsteps. Liam walked out of the bedroom, rubbing his eyes. "Good morning, buddy," Michael said. "I am hungry," Liam said. Michael made pancakes. He was not a good cook, but he tried. The pancakes were uneven, and some were burned. But the triplets ate them anyway. Emma asked for strawberries on hers. Michael did not have strawberries. He made a mental note to remember this. Emma liked pancakes with strawberries. They spent Saturday at the park. They played on swings. They fed ducks. They had a picnic lunch. Michael took photos on his phone. Not to post anywhere. Just to keep. That night, Noah woke up crying. Michael heard him and went to the bedroom. Noah was sitting up with tears on his face. "What is wrong, buddy?" Michael asked. "I had a bad dream," Noah said. His voice shook. "It is okay," Michael said. He sat on the edge of the air mattress. "It was just a dream. You are safe." "Can you stay here?" Noah asked. "Yes," Michael said. He lay down next to Noah on the air mattress. He held the little boy until he fell back asleep. Michael made another mental note. Noah has nightmares sometimes. Sunday came too fast. At 5, Lexi arrived to pick up the children. They did not want to leave. "But we just got here," Liam said. "You will come back in 2 weeks," Lexi said, "and Daddy will see you on Wednesday for dinner." After they left, Michael cleaned the apartment. He found a small purple crayon under the couch. He put it in a drawer to save. Every other Wednesday, Michael picked up the triplets from school at 3 and brought them to his apartment for dinner. He learned to cook simple things: spaghetti, chicken nuggets, grilled cheese sandwiches. He learned what each child liked and did not like. Emma did not like tomatoes. Noah did not like green beans. Liam was allergic to strawberries and would get a rash. In October, Michael attended his first parent-teacher conference at Brookside Elementary. He sat next to Lexi in Miss Rodriguez's classroom. The teacher showed them Emma's drawings. She said Emma was shy but talented in art. She showed them Noah's work. She said Noah was very smart and asked good questions. She showed them Liam's papers. She said Liam had a lot of energy but was friendly with all the other children. "They are wonderful kids," Miss Rodriguez said. "You should be very proud." Michael felt proud. These were his children. They were smart and kind and creative. In November, Michael had the triplets for Thanksgiving weekend. He did not know how to cook a turkey, so he bought a roasted chicken from the grocery store. He made mashed potatoes from a box. He heated up canned green beans. It was not a fancy meal, but they ate together at his small kitchen table. "What are you thankful for?" Michael asked. "I am thankful for my new friend Sophia," Emma said. "She shares her crayons with me." "I am thankful for my teacher," Noah said. "She helps me with math." "I am thankful for dinosaurs," Liam said. "And for you, Daddy." Michael's throat felt tight. "I am thankful for you three, all of you." In early December, Michael went to therapy with Dr. Ruiz. They had been meeting every Tuesday for almost a year now. "How are things with the children?" Dr. Ruiz asked. "Good," Michael said. "Really good. I have them every other weekend now, and one night per week. They are comfortable with me. They tell me things. I know their routines and their fears and what they like." "What about your feelings of inadequacy?" Dr. Ruiz asked. "Do you still measure your worth by what other people think?" Michael thought about it. "No, not anymore. I do not care what strangers think. I only care what Emma, Noah, and Liam think. And what I think of myself." "That is significant growth," Dr. Ruiz said. "How do you feel about money now?" "I am still paying off my credit card debt," Michael said. "But I am not spending money I do not have. I am not buying things to impress people. I live simply. It is enough." "What changed?" Dr. Ruiz asked. "I used to think success meant people looking at me," Michael said. "Now I know success means my kids feeling safe when I am around." Dr. Ruiz smiled. "You have come very far, Michael." On December 20th, Lexi called Michael. "The triplets want you to spend Christmas with them. Would you like to come to the house on Christmas morning?" Michael was surprised. "Are you sure?" "Yes," Lexi said. "They asked for you specifically. They want Daddy to be there when they open presents." "I will be there," Michael said. "What time?" 8 in the morning, Lexi said. Michael spent December 24th alone in his apartment. He wrapped 3 small gifts he bought for the children. For Emma, he bought a set of watercolor brushes. She was getting serious about art. For Noah, he bought a book about planets. Noah loved space. For Liam, he bought a toy helicopter. Liam loved anything that flew. Michael did not have much money left after paying rent and credit card payments, but he spent time choosing each gift carefully. He wanted them to be meaningful, not expensive. On Christmas morning, Michael arrived at Lexi's house at 8. The triplets ran to the door in their pajamas. Their faces were bright with excitement. "Daddy, you are here!" Emma hugged him. "Come see the tree!" Liam grabbed his hand and pulled him inside. The living room had a large Christmas tree covered in lights and ornaments. Presents filled the space underneath. Lexi sat on the couch with a cup of coffee. She wore comfortable clothes. No makeup. She looked relaxed. "Merry Christmas," she said to Michael. "Merry Christmas," Michael said. The triplets tore into their presents. New clothes, books, toys. They squealed and laughed. When they opened Michael's gifts, their faces lit up. "Thank you, Daddy," Emma said. She hugged the watercolor brushes. "This is the best book ever," Noah said. "Look, my helicopter flies." Liam threw it in the air. After presents, Lexi made breakfast. Pancakes with strawberries for Emma, chocolate chip pancakes for Noah and Liam, bacon and orange juice for everyone. They ate together at the kitchen table. It was not romantic. Michael and Lexi were not getting back together. They barely talked to each other, but they were in the same room, sharing a meal with their children. They were a family in a different way. After breakfast, Michael played with the triplets. He helped Noah build a spaceship with new blocks. He painted with Emma using her new brushes. He flew the helicopter with Liam around the living room. Lexi watched from the couch. She looked peaceful. At noon, Lexi's mother arrived. Her name was Dorothy. She brought more gifts for the grandchildren. She greeted Michael politely. Over the past year, she had seen how hard Michael worked to be a good father. She respected him now. The day was full of laughter and play. No arguments. No tension. Just a quiet, peaceful Christmas. At 5, Michael prepared to leave. The triplets hugged him goodbye. "Will you come back tomorrow?" Emma asked. "Not tomorrow," Michael said, "but I will see you on Friday. It is my weekend with you guys." "I love you, Daddy," Liam said. "I love you too, buddy," Michael said. "I love all of you." As Michael drove home, he thought about the past year. He thought about the man he was on the yacht. Desperate, fake, empty. He thought about the man he was now. Honest, present, real. He would never be rich. He would never own a yacht. He would never impress strangers on social media. But he had 3 children who loved him. He had a purpose. He had a real life. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2024, Michael stayed home in his small apartment. At midnight, he video-called the triplets. They answered wearing party hats. Noisemakers blew loudly in the background. "Happy New Year, Daddy!" they shouted together. Michael smiled. Exactly 2 years ago, he stood on a rented yacht trying to impress his ex-wife. Tonight, he sat on a used couch in a small apartment. But he was happier than he had ever been. "Happy New Year," he said. "I love you guys." After the call ended, Michael sat in the quiet apartment. He thought about success. Real success was not about what people saw. It was about who you were when no one was watching. It was about showing up every day for the people who needed you. It was about being honest. It was about love that required work, not applause. Michael's life was smaller now, but it was full. And that made him richer than any yacht ever could. January arrived. 2025 began quietly for Michael. He worked at Innovate Tech during the week. He saw the triplets every other weekend and every Wednesday. Life fell into a comfortable rhythm. In late January, Jennifer Patel called Michael into her office again. "Michael," she said, "we are starting a new project, a big client. I need someone to lead it. I think you should do it." "Me?" Michael said. "I've only been here 10 months. And you have been excellent for 10 months, Jennifer said. "You are organized, you communicate well. The team respects you. This is a promotion. Project manager. Your salary will increase to $65,000 per year." Michael could not believe it. "Thank you. I will work hard. I promise." "I know you will," Jennifer said. With the raise, Michael started paying down his credit card debt faster. He owed $18,000 from the yacht party and moving expenses. He paid $500 every month. It would take 3 years to pay it all off, but he was making progress. In February, Emma had a school art show. Miss Rodriguez displayed all the kindergarten students' artwork in the school cafeteria. Parents walked around looking at paintings and drawings. Michael arrived at 6 in the evening. Lexi was already there with the triplets. Emma held Lexi's hand and looked nervous. "Hi, Emma," Michael said. "Where is your art?" Emma led him to a wall. Her painting hung in the center. It showed a family. A mother with black hair, 3 children with brown curly hair, and a father with brown curly hair standing next to them. Above the painting, Emma had written in crooked letters, "My family." Michael stared at the painting. His throat felt tight. Emma included him in her family picture. "Do you like it, Daddy?" Emma asked quietly. "I love it," Michael said. "It is beautiful." Emma smiled. It was a real smile. Not shy, not uncertain, just happy. In March, the triplets turned 5 years old. Michael helped plan their birthday party. Lexi organized it at her house, but she asked Michael to help with decorations and games. They hung streamers in the backyard. They set up tables for cake and snacks. 20 children from kindergarten came to the party. Parents stood around talking while children ran and played. Michael and Lexi worked together quietly. They did not talk much, but they did not need to. They moved around each other easily. She set up the food table. He organized the games. When it was time to sing Happy Birthday, they stood on opposite sides of the cake, but they both sang. They both smiled at their children. After the party, after all the guests left, Lexi sat on her back porch. Michael was cleaning up paper plates and cups. "You can sit down," Lexi said. "You have been working all day." Michael sat in a chair next to her. They looked at the yard. Balloons moved in the wind. Leftover streamers hung from trees. "The kids had fun," Lexi said. "Yes," Michael said. "They did." They were quiet for a moment. Then Lexi said, "You have been consistent for over a year now. The children trust you. That is good." "Thank you for letting me be part of their lives," Michael said. "You are their father," Lexi said simply. "They need you." It was the first time Lexi acknowledged Michael as truly necessary in the triplets' lives. Not just allowed, but needed. In April, Noah had a problem at school. Michael got a call from Lexi on a Tuesday afternoon. "Can you come to the school?" Lexi asked. There was an incident with Noah. Michael left work immediately. He drove to Brookside Elementary. Lexi stood in the hallway outside the principal's office. Her face looked worried. "What happened?" Michael asked. "Noah got in a fight," Lexi said, "with that boy Tyler, the one who was bullying him." They went into the office. The principal, a man named Mr. Edwards, sat behind a desk. Noah sat in a chair looking small and scared. Tyler sat in another chair with his mother. "Thank you both for coming," Mr. Edwards said to Michael and Lexi. Noah and Tyler had a physical altercation on the playground. Tyler pushed Noah. Noah pushed back. "Both boys will have a warning." Tyler's mother spoke up. "My son said Noah started it." "That is not true," Noah said. His voice was shaking. "Tyler always pushes me. He has been mean to me since the beginning of school." Mr. Edwards looked at his notes. Several students confirmed that Tyler pushed Noah first. This is not the first complaint about Tyler bullying other students. Tyler's mother looked angry but said nothing more. After the meeting, Michael and Lexi took Noah home. In the car, Noah was quiet. When they got to Lexi's house, Michael knelt down to talk to him. "Are you okay, buddy?" Michael asked. "I do not like fighting," Noah said. Tears filled his eyes. "But he always pushes me. I told the teacher, but he did not stop." "You did the right thing by telling the teacher," Michael said, "and you have the right to defend yourself. But I am proud of you for trying to do the right thing first." Noah hugged Michael. Lexi watched from the doorway. Her face was soft. In May, Michael took the triplets camping for the first time. It was his weekend with them. He borrowed a tent from his coworker. He drove to Big Basin Redwoods State Park, about an hour from Campbell. They set up the tent together. Michael had never been camping before, so he did not know what he was doing. The tent fell down twice. Liam thought it was hilarious. "Daddy, you are bad at tents." Liam laughed. "I am learning," Michael said. They finally got the tent up. They roasted hot dogs over a fire. They made s'mores with marshmallows and chocolate. Emma got chocolate all over her face. They sat around the fire and looked at stars. "There is the Big Dipper," Noah said. He pointed at the sky. "How do you know that?" Michael asked. "I learned it in my space book," Noah said. "The one you gave me for Christmas." Michael felt proud. The book he chose meant something to Noah. Noah learned from it. That night, they all slept in the tent. Michael barely slept because Liam kicked him in his sleep and Emma snored softly. But Michael did not mind. These were problems he wanted to have. In June, Michael attended his last therapy session with Dr. Ruiz. He had been seeing her for a year and a half. "I think you have done the work you needed to do," Dr. Ruiz said. "You understand yourself better. You have changed your behaviors. You are building a healthy relationship with your children." "So I am done with therapy?" Michael asked. "For now," Dr. Ruiz said. "You can always come back if you need support. But I think you have the tools you need." "Thank you," Michael said, "for everything. You helped me become a better person." "You did the work," Dr. Ruiz said. "I just guided you." In July, Michael moved to a bigger apartment, still in Campbell but with 2 bedrooms, one for him and one for the triplets. He bought 3 twin beds and set them up in the children's bedroom. He let Emma, Noah, and Liam choose what color sheets they wanted. Emma chose purple. Noah chose blue. Liam chose green with dinosaurs. The first night they slept in their new room, Michael stood in the doorway and watched them. 3 children in 3 beds. His children in his home. In August, Lexi asked Michael to pick up the triplets from summer camp every day for 2 weeks. She had to travel for work. "Are you sure?" Michael asked. "Every day?" "Yes," Lexi said. "I trust you." Those 2 weeks, Michael picked up Emma, Noah, and Liam at 3 every afternoon. He brought them to his apartment. He made them snacks. He helped them with their summer workbooks. He played games with them. He gave them baths. He made dinner. At 7, he drove them back to Lexi's house, where a nanny stayed with them overnight. It was exhausting. Michael understood how hard Lexi's life had been when the triplets were babies. 3 children needed so much. But it was also wonderful. He was living like a real parent, not a visitor, a parent. In September, the triplets started 1st grade. Michael and Lexi attended the back-to-school night together. They met the new teacher, Miss Franklin. They saw the classroom. They signed up for volunteer opportunities. Walking to the parking lot after, Lexi said, "You have become a good father, Michael." Michael stopped walking. Lexi never said things like this. She was always cautious with her words. "Thank you," Michael said. "That means a lot coming from you." "I was not sure you could change," Lexi said. "When you showed up at my house in January last year, I gave you a chance because the children asked about you. I did not think you would last 3 months, but you proved me wrong. You showed up. You keep showing up." "They are my children," Michael said. "Where else would I be?" Lexi looked at him for a long moment. The man on the yacht would not have said that. He would have been at a party somewhere trying to impress people he did not know. "That man does not exist anymore," Michael said. In October, Michael paid off his credit card debt completely. He made his final payment of $500 on October 15th. 18 months of payments. He was free of the debt from his old life. In November, Michael's parents visited again. This time, they stayed for a week. They rented a hotel room near Michael's apartment. They spent every day with the triplets. Patricia baked cookies with Emma. Robert taught Noah how to play checkers. They took Liam to the zoo. On their last night, Patricia said to Michael, "You are a good father. I am proud of you." Robert nodded. "You turned your life around. That takes strength." In early December, Lexi called Michael. "The children want you to spend Christmas with us again. And I was thinking, maybe you could come for Christmas Eve too. We have a tradition. We make gingerbread houses and watch holiday movies." "Are you sure?" Michael asked. "Yes," Lexi said. "You are part of this family now. Not the way you were before, but in a new way. The children need you, and I have accepted that." Michael felt his eyes get wet. "I will be there." On Christmas Eve, Michael arrived at Lexi's house at 5 in the evening. The triplets ran to greet him. They were wearing matching pajamas with snowflakes on them. "Daddy, you are here!" they shouted. They spent the evening building gingerbread houses. Emma decorated hers perfectly with straight lines of icing. Noah built his carefully and precisely. Liam ate most of his candy before putting it on the house. They watched 2 holiday movies. The triplets fell asleep on the couch. Michael carried Emma to her room. Lexi carried Noah. Liam woke up and walked by himself. After the children were in bed, Michael prepared to leave. Lexi walked him to the door. "Thank you for coming," she said. "Thank you for inviting me," Michael said. They stood in the doorway. It was not awkward. It was just 2 people who shared children. 2 people who were building something new from the pieces of something broken. "See you tomorrow," Lexi said. "See you tomorrow," Michael said. As he drove home, Michael thought about how far he had come. 2 years ago, he rented a yacht to make Lexi jealous. Now, he built gingerbread houses with their children. 2 years ago, he measured success by Instagram likes. Now, he measured it by Emma's smile, Noah's trust, and Liam's hugs. His life was not impressive to strangers, but it was everything to him. Christmas morning arrived bright and clear. Michael woke up at 6 in his apartment. He showered and dressed. He picked up the 3 wrapped gifts he prepared, small boxes wrapped in colorful paper. He put them in a bag and drove to Los Gatos. He arrived at Lexi's house at 8. The security guards opened the gate and waved at him. They knew him now. He was not a stranger anymore. Michael knocked on the door. Emma opened it. She wore purple pajamas with stars on them. "Daddy!" she shouted. "Merry Christmas!" Noah and Liam ran to the door behind her. They all hugged Michael at once. He knelt down and wrapped his arms around all 3 of them. "Merry Christmas," he said. "Are you ready to open presents?" "Yes!" they shouted. The living room glowed with lights from the Christmas tree. Presents covered the floor underneath it. Lexi sat on the couch, holding a cup of coffee. She wore gray sweatpants and a white sweater. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail. "Good morning," she said to Michael. "Good morning," Michael said. The triplets tore into their presents. Boxes opened. Wrapping paper flew everywhere. They got new books, new clothes, new toys. They squealed and laughed with each gift. Michael pulled out his 3 small boxes. "These are from me." Emma opened hers first. Inside was a set of fine watercolor brushes. Professional quality. She gasped, "These are real artist brushes." "Yes," Michael said, "for a real artist." Emma hugged him tight. "Thank you, Daddy. I love them." Noah opened his next, a hardcover book about the solar system, full of photographs and facts. "This is amazing," Noah said. He immediately sat down and started reading. Liam opened his last, a toy helicopter with a remote control. "It really flies!" Liam shouted. He ran around the room making helicopter sounds. After all the presents were opened, Lexi stood up. "I will make breakfast. Who wants pancakes?" "Me!" all 3 children shouted. In the kitchen, Lexi mixed batter and heated the griddle. Michael helped without being asked. He poured orange juice into cups. He set the table with plates and forks. They moved around the kitchen easily. Not like they used to when they were married. That felt forced and tense. This felt natural and calm. Lexi made pancakes with strawberries for Emma, chocolate chip pancakes for Noah and Liam. She put bacon on a plate in the center of the table. They all sat down together. Emma talked about the gingerbread house they made last night. Noah talked about his new book. Liam talked about flying his helicopter outside. Michael listened to everything. He asked questions. He laughed at Liam's jokes. He looked at pictures in Noah's book. He admired Emma's plans for her first painting with her new brushes. After breakfast, they moved to the living room. Michael sat on the floor with the triplets. Noah showed him facts from his space book. "Did you know that Jupiter has 79 moons?" "I did not know that," Michael said. "That is incredible." Emma got her new brushes and a pad of watercolor paper. She painted a picture of a Christmas tree. Michael sat next to her and watched. "You are very talented," he said. Liam flew his helicopter around the room. It buzzed and spun. He crashed it into the couch. He laughed and flew it again. Lexi sat on the couch reading a book, but she looked up often to watch Michael with the children. Her face was peaceful. At noon, the doorbell rang. Lexi answered it. Her mother, Dorothy, walked in carrying shopping bags full of more presents. "Merry Christmas," Dorothy said. She hugged the triplets. Then she greeted Michael. "Hello, Michael. Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas, Dorothy," Michael said. Dorothy used to be cold to Michael. When he first started visiting the children, she barely spoke to him. She did not trust him, but over 2 years she watched him show up every week. She watched him move across the country. She watched him work hard to be a good father. Now, she respected him. Dorothy gave the triplets their gifts. More books, more toys, more clothes. The children were overwhelmed with happiness. The afternoon passed quietly. Adults talked while children played. Dorothy told stories about Lexi's childhood. Michael listened and learned things he never knew. Lexi was shy as a child. She loved building things. She wanted to be an engineer when she was 7 years old. At 4, Dorothy left. She hugged everyone goodbye. "This was a wonderful Christmas," she said. After she left, the house felt quiet. The triplets were tired from excitement. They sat on the couch, watching a movie. Emma leaned against Lexi. Noah and Liam leaned against Michael. At 5:30, the movie ended. The triplets yawned. Michael stood up to leave. "You are leaving?" Emma asked. Her voice was sad. "Yes, sweetheart," Michael said. "But I will see you on Friday. It is my weekend with you." "That is 4 days away," Emma said. "I know," Michael said, "but it will go fast." Liam walked up to Michael and hugged his legs. "I love you, Daddy." Michael picked him up. "I love you too, buddy." Noah stood up and hugged Michael too. "Bye, Daddy." "Bye, Noah," Michael said. Emma came last. She hugged Michael around his waist. "I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, Emma," Michael said. "All of you. So much." Lexi walked Michael to the door. They stood in the doorway. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. "Thank you for today," Michael said. "The children wanted you here," Lexi said. "This is their Christmas too." Michael nodded. "I know we will never be married again. I know we will never be a couple. But I want you to know that I am grateful for this, for the chance to be their father." Lexi looked at him. Her dark brown eyes were serious. "You earned this chance, Michael. You changed. Not everyone can do that." "I had to change," Michael said. "The old Michael lost everything that mattered. The new Michael will not make that mistake." "Keep being the new Michael," Lexi said. Michael drove home as the sun set. The streets were quiet. Most people were inside with their families. Michael thought about his family. It did not look like other families. He and Lexi were not together. They lived in separate houses, but they were still a family. A different kind of family, built on co-parenting and respect. The week between Christmas and New Year passed quickly. Michael worked. He prepared his apartment for his weekend with the triplets. He bought groceries. He washed their sheets. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, Michael had the day off. Some of his co-workers invited him to a party. A big party at a bar in downtown San Jose. There would be music and dancing and champagne. 2 years ago, Michael would have gone. He would have worn expensive clothes. He would have posted photos. He would have tried to impress everyone. Now Michael said no thank you. He spent New Year's Eve at his apartment. He read a book. He watched a movie. He cleaned his kitchen. At 11:30, he made a cup of tea and sat on his couch. At 11:55, he opened his laptop. He started a video call with the triplets. Lexi answered. The camera showed all 3 children wearing party hats. They held noisemakers. "Hi, Daddy," they shouted. "Hi, guys," Michael said. "Are you ready for the new year?" "Yes," they said. They counted down together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! The triplets blew their noisemakers. The sound was loud and chaotic. They laughed and danced. "Happy New Year, Daddy," Emma said. "Happy New Year, Daddy," Noah said. "Happy New Year, Daddy," Liam said. "Happy New Year," Michael said. "I love you all so much." "We love you too," they said together. Lexi appeared on the screen. "Say goodnight to Daddy. It is time for bed." "Good night, Daddy," the triplets said. They waved at the camera. "Good night," Michael said. "I will see you on Friday." The video call ended. Michael closed his laptop. He sat in his quiet apartment. Outside, he heard fireworks. People shouted and celebrated. But inside, Michael felt calm. He thought about New Year's Eve 2 years ago, December 31st, 2023. He stood on a rented yacht trying to make his ex-wife jealous. He spent $15,000 he did not have. He invited 20 people he barely knew. He posted photos every hour. He was desperate for validation from strangers. That night ended with him discovering he had 3 children he never knew about. That night, his fake life shattered. Now, it was December 31st, 2024, 2 years later. Michael sat alone in a small 2-bedroom apartment. He drove an old car. He wore simple clothes. He had no social media accounts. He worked a regular job. His life would not impress anyone. But Michael had 3 children who loved him. 3 children who called him Daddy. 3 children who trusted him and needed him and wanted him in their lives. He earned $65,000 per year. Not rich, but enough. He had no debt. He paid for his rent and his groceries and small gifts for his children. His apartment had used furniture. His car had 200,000 miles on it. His closet had regular shirts and jeans. But his life was real. His relationships were real. His love was real. Michael learned that success was not about yachts or watches or Instagram likes. Success was showing up every day for the people who mattered. Success was being honest about who you are. Success was loving your children not for applause, but because they needed you. 2 years ago, Michael wanted everyone to look at him. Now he only cared about 3 small people who looked at him and saw their father. 2 years ago, Michael measured his worth by what he owned. Now he measured his worth by who he loved and who loved him back. His life was smaller now, quieter, simpler, but it was full of meaning, full of purpose, full of love. Michael stood up and walked to the window. Fireworks exploded in the distance. Colors filled the sky. Red, blue, gold, green. People celebrated the new year. Michael smiled. He thought about Friday when he would pick up Emma, Noah, and Liam. He thought about their weekend together. Maybe they would go to the park. Maybe they would make cookies. Maybe they would just stay home and build puzzles. It did not matter what they did. What mattered was that he would be there, present, honest, real. Michael turned away from the window. He walked to his bedroom. He lay down on his bed. Tomorrow was a new year. January 1st, 2025. A new beginning. But Michael did not need a new beginning. He already found what he was looking for. He found his children. He found his purpose. He found himself. And that was worth more than any yacht in the world. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen